Alright, I found some cool. No, we don't need this conspiracy news shit. Alright, I found this crazy video of the Jeff Ostroff, but he got Coast Guard video of the recovery submarine, the machine one.
So let's take a look at this
And
first
it
video here.
found
So this was probably
the,
taken right after they got to the bottom of the ocean.
Titan sub from Oceangate, and it explains like a little more into depth what
And there
really
it is coming
happened.
into view. This is, you're looking
So I
at
wanted to
the
react to it because it's cool. Like the whole back of the shit was intact. The whole back of the sub, like all the mechanics, as far as the thrusters and the communications, the electronics, the video, that was all, and it's fairly intact. A little bit on the bottom, but even the strap is there if you could see that. Yeah, that's crazy. 622. That's crazy. Wow, this was a year ago. So it happened about a year. They're just releasing the footage of the whole shit. So yeah, so what we just saw was the back of that shit. If you see to your right, that's what the fuck you saw. And you see how the name was there and shit. Like that's how you could confirm it was that. Yeah, there's a little thing. Excellent 3D joint. Alright, we don't need that. Sorry, but good thing the noise is off. Nobody needs a car, man. We all need to save and start walking more anyway. Shut the fuck up. Alright. Alright, the debris was found, close to where they were in the Titanic itself. Yeah, so those were the 5 people to your left. That's where they would have been.
we were looking at, on the ocean bottom there.
So yeah, you would be looking at them, and that's really like the cannons, and that's what we just saw inside. So, exactly, in the blue. That's crazy, man. You gotta be a brave soul and a mother effer to do that, man. That's crazy. I would not do that, man. I would not, Odyssey. Yeah, that's what it was. It's a 6K captured video. Yeah, it was very clear.
The Pelagic Odysseus 6K, or the 6000 ROV, remote controlled rover. And so they lower this unmanned thing into the water, and of course there's the section of the Titan that was pulled off of the deck of the Polar Prince. So it's eerie to think that the Polar Prince originally, a few days ago, just brought these men out there for a good time to go down and dive the Titanic. Crazy. And now the same...
Fuck. Sorry, bro. I didn't know what I just did, but might have just froze my whole shit. Yeah, whatever.
The section of the Titan that was pulled off of the deck of the Polar Prince. So it's eerie to think that the Polar Prince originally, a few days ago, just brought these men out there for a good time to go down and dive the Titanic. And now the same Polar Prince ship is bringing back the parts of their busted up Titan submersible. Kind of like JFK with Air Force One, how Air Force One flew him out to Dallas and then flew his body back in a coffin. Let's check out the detail on the orientation.
That was clear video, man. That's
on the back side of it.
3,000 feet.
Yeah, I mean, you can see this thing is really mostly intact. Even the strap is still on it. But here, as you look on the back edge of it, you can see the OceanGate logo. The Titan is just coming in.
That's crazy, the footage. Yeah, like we did like we're gonna see the second part where the actual people were. That shit is frightening, to be honest. That shit is super scary looking and frightening. Oh damn, it was pretty far from the Titanic. We're releasing footage of the Titan salvage ahead of technical testimony and exhibits. The footage includes the art dome. Shit, I think that was the window. Yeah, that was the window and shit. Yep. Is it cracked or? Oh damn, that was the hole, bro. That was the
Over here,
fucking hole,
this
bro.
is the titanium dome. There you can see the ring,
Oh
and this looks
damn.
like a huge chunk of the 5-inch thick
Damn, bro.
carbon fiber hull still attached to this part of it. So it was not a clean shear off of there,
And that
as you
shit
can
shrunk
see.
like a motherfucker.
So during the implosion, it looks like the titanium cone was blown right off, and then it just sank further
Yo,
down
this
to the bottom.
incredible
That was a
technology
laser
by
beam you
this
saw the
machine.
ROV just shoot out, so they can get the distance from it, so they can tell what it is they're looking at and maybe try to judge the size of it. You know, without anything reference to it, you can't really tell the size, but there you can see that 5-inch thickness of the carbon fiber hull there. And I'm frankly surprised that you even have this big of a chunk, because I thought with an implosion that all of those pieces would have been blown over everywhere. And there's your, you know, at this point, I still can't tell if that's the other titanium dome or if it's the window. You just don't have enough good, clean white light on it. And they didn't get it close up, and you didn't get it close up to see with a reference of size either. So they're coming back over here to it.
That's crazy though. That shit shrunk. That shit was in shreds. Yeah, that shit looks like the window, man. My bad. That ain't the hull, man. Yeah, we got more fucking so annoying, man. So many commercials.
And then as you can see from this photo right here, this shows you the outside of the cylindrical capsule of the Titan and how it is mated to those rings connecting it to the titanium dome. So you might remember from seeing some of the previous videos in the past how they applied it with that kind of peanut butter paste. That's what they're calling it, you know, that kind of famous, it looks like peanut butter, it goes on like peanut butter. And so that was the adhesive that they used to connect the Titan's cylindrical cabin to the titanium domes.
It's the glue that holding the family together, and we want to make sure it's right.
The glue is very thick, so it's not like Elmer's glue. It's like peanut butter.
All the things to short.
And where is the ring at? Hopefully they will eventually get around to giving us video showing the rings lying on the bottom of the floor, because here you saw them hoisting it up there and it looks picked clean, like there's no carbon fiber on it at all. Take a look again here when they were gluing together the titanium ends onto the carbon fiber cylinder. There's two things I'm seeing here. Number one, look at this technician's hands. I don't know why he's not wearing gloves. This should be a reasonably sterile environment. And you can see now he's putting his hand on the stupid titanium ring. Now let's just contaminate that some more with our fingerprints and our oils from our hands. And then one other thing that you really need to consider here is these titanium rings. Before you put any type of adhesive on there, how is adhesive going to stick onto good, shiny, smooth metal? So what I don't see here, and I didn't even hear them mention, is did they bother to do any kind of abrasion or sanding on there, or do an acid etch or something to rough up that surface to give the adhesive something to just cling on to? That's what you're missing here. And so I think that probably explains why, like I've showed you in some of our previous videos, when they pulled up some of the debris from the bottom of the ocean floor, why the titanium rings are smooth, and it looks like they were 100% picked clean of any of the carbon fiber material, not even little chunks that might have been left glued. That glue over time, I think with the compression cylinder constantly under compression and expansion as it goes down and comes back up, and you get all of this cyclic fatigue
that's
going.
a good point.
I think
Probably
also
that's where
that adhesive likely just
that's where the catastrophe fault was, the glue in the titanium ring.
cleanly stripped
That's
itself
where it
right off of those
failed.
titanium rings.
In other words,
Now coming back a few yards away to the other section here. So this does look like it's the aft titanium dome, and you can tell it's still almost intact. It didn't quite come completely separated off there, so it looks like the glue sort of held on a little bit there. And it's not
That's
surprising
true.
because all of the attachments and everything on there likely cushioned the effects of the implosion and prevented it from just blowing into a million pieces. But I mean, look at the size of the pieces of the black carbon fiber all over the ocean floor. So it gives you an idea as to how big of a size that the implosion destroyed the pieces and reduced them to. It looks like there aren't any parts down there that are any bigger than, say, a foot, you know, from the carbon fiber standpoint. And then if we go back to the Asgen Industries 3D model, here Amber put together a diagram showing all of the parts that were brought up, that we saw them brought up that day in St. John's, Newfoundland, on the Coast Guard station. And here's where all of the different parts came from on the OceanGate Titan submersible. And also here in her 3D rendering, she shows how the carbon fiber cylinder was glued onto the ring. And so the red line there represents the glue, and you can see how the carbon fiber is connected in there. So many of the theories you've heard probably bouncing around from different engineers are that, you know, the pressure of constantly going up and down to the Titanic over several trips, you can see what happens here. The pressure tends to want to try to allow a little bit of water to sneak in through those red lines. And if this cycle happens enough times and combined with the delamination of the individual carbon fiber layers and stuff,
that makes complete
well, this is what
hundreds.
happens. The result
exactly
is, of
what
course,
happened.
what we now know to be history and the implosion of the OceanGate Titan submarine. Now, the U.S. Coast Guard has started their public hearings into the investigation of the OceanGate Titan submersible implosion, and that started this week. So I've already been listening to several days in a row of non-stop 8 o'clock in the morning till 4 or 5 in the afternoon of testimony. And so I'll be doing videos showing, you know, just the most kind of juiciest details for you, some of the surprising findings and
Nice.
anything that's important,
Go check it
and
back
all of
up.
the other details.
Sorry, I've
So
been
let's take a look at
slacking
this
a lot,
first
'cause
video
I
here.
haven't
So,
been doing any
and if
shit.
this is, I've already been listening to several
Wanted to
days in a
pause it
row
on,
of non-stop all of the other details that are pertinent to this.
Okay, that's the wreckage of that whole big Titan submarine. That's crazy. Alright, we out. Deuces. I don't know why I did that, but deuces.